This is where the first attack happened on Sunday night. This is the second attack Monday evening. So you saw by the title of this video, I had a horrific experience this past week. I've not been in the garden all week. Today is Thursday. It happened Sunday night. I was attacked by a swarm of yellow jackets in my yard. I was just watering my plants, a normal activity for me. Thank goodness my girls were out front with me because I was kind of paralyzed in fear, although I was running up and down the driveway at some point. But at some point I remember just freezing and looking down and seeing all of these yellow jackets just attached and just feeling fearful, like a state of shock. So one of my daughters was spraying me with water hose. The other was hitting me with her flip-flop. They were both so brave. I'm so thankful that they were there. Normally they're not out front with me when I'm watering. It was just a fluke. They were begging me to go somewhere, and thankfully they were there at the right moment. Just out there, it was literally getting close to dusk, which they're not supposed to. Yellow jackets aren't supposed to be active that time of day. I didn't suspect we had yellow jackets, and I was just watering my normal watering routine. I was in the front yard. I'll put a picture here. And it was instantaneous. I felt something on my foot. I was out there in flip-flops, short sleeves. I looked down, it's a yellow jacket on my foot. And of course, I just started shaking my foot. My flip-flop came off. And I guess I ran up the driveway at that point. Because I ended up, I don't remember how I got up to the top of the driveway, but I ended up at the top of the driveway. And by the time I looked down again, they're all over me, my back, bottom, legs, neck, back of my neck, front. And I've got the one daughter spraying me with the hose, the other hitting me in the backside with the flip-flop. Somehow, after getting drenched, we end up in the house via the back door, soaked. I went straight to the shower. My heart was pounding. I was afraid something was going to happen. So I had my one daughter go get 2 Benadryls, which I normally never take that much Benadryl. That's like a mega dose for me. But I took 2. I took 50 milligrams before I got in the shower. I didn't take a long shower because I was afraid if I was to pass out or need urgent care, I wanted to just be able to go quickly. So I put on some comfy clothes and a hoodie so I could go to urgent care if needed. I ended up not needing to go. I did have a lot of stings, about 13 to 15, and the Benadryl helped. I did get localized swelling. I still have swelling and itching. And let's see, how many days later? It's only been 4 days, just 4 days. So 4 days ago, but I'm still, a lot of the stings are itchy, still kind of red and swollen. And I have periods where they're just aggravating as heck. And I've been taking Zyrtec, some localized ointments. But knock on wood, this time I did not have any type of systemic reaction. Next time could be totally different. And so that leads us to Monday evening, right at dark. I mean, it was really almost dark. I went out, I'm like, I've got to water my plants. We did not get rain. We had 2 thunderstorms with just thunder and lightning, no rain. So my plants were on the verge of dying. That's why I was out there Sunday evening. I was watering. They needed water so desperately. And I go out there, I start on the far perimeter of the front yard, far away from the nest. Get my artichokes watered. I'm making my way to the center of the yard. And I'm hyper aware the whole time. I'm wearing layers, multiple layers. I look down, there's a yellow jacket right here on the bend of my arm. So I look down, I've got the water hose, I guess in my left hand, maybe I was in my right hand, but I look down and see yellow jacket right there on the bend of my arm. I immediately drop the hose, I take off running towards the house. I'm taking off the sweater, remember I'm in multiple layers. Take off the sweater as I run and just throw it in the yard with the yellow jacket still inside. I had tomatoes in those pockets too, but they're just gone now. I'm not gonna go get them. The sweater is still sitting there too. My flip-flop's still sitting in the yard. My deer spray. I'm not been able to go outside, and I need to back up here for a second. So let's back up. So first attack, the big attack, happened Sunday evening. My husband was able to find someone to come out Monday, probably around 3. It's around 3 o'clock. So someone came out around 3 o'clock. He found the nest immediately. It's a big, big nest. Normally we treat ourselves, but because my husband is in an immobilizer boot. He just had ankle surgery about 7 weeks ago. He could not do it. I didn't want him running from Yellowjackets, and I wasn't about to go out and do it, right? No. So we hired someone locally with good reviews. So he came out about 3 Monday. That is the following evening right after my attack. And he had to treat. It was a huge deep hole. He put in 2 gallons of whatever he uses. I'm environmentally friendly, but at this point I don't or didn't care. He said give it about 48 hours. But the next evening, because my plants were dying, I went out there. And that's when I think, well, they put a target on you. Yeah, they release what's called an alarm pheromone. And so I was like, even though I had a shower, I had on new clothes, maybe they could smell me. Maybe they knew to come find me. I was nowhere near the original nest when the second attack happened. But it kind of freaked me out. Like, I was trying to build up my confidence and get right back on the bike. But then the Yellowjackets show up and I'm so fearful now. I wear layers. All week I've been wearing layers so I can quickly take off a layer. So wearing multiple layers in 90-degree weather is miserable, but it has given me like a security blanket, because everywhere I go, we have to still walk the dog. There are flying pollinators, flying insects. And, you know, a week ago, I was very comfortable to stand in my own yard in a patch of flowering time with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pollinators. Next to me, flying right around me, no fear. I would stick my hand down, pick stuff, pull weeds, no fear at all. But now I am petrified that this is going to happen again. It's almost like a horror movie. When I saw all those Yellowjackets on me, it was a very traumatic experience. So, I've not been in the garden all week. There's a good reason. Maybe it was a good thing, because last night we found a secondary nest right by my van, right by where I stand to get in my van, right where we walk to go turn on the water hose for the front yard. My husband immediately called the exterminator back. He said, I'll be there in the morning. He gave us a half-price discount, which is great. So he came out this morning. Today is Thursday morning. He came out. He said, yep, you sure do. And it's a very distinct a thing to see. The Yellowjackets go straight in, straight out. Almost the same pattern. They're taking the same flight pattern. So you can kind of see them. And from now on, that's something I'm going to implement. Sweating. I'm going to assess my flower beds before I start working in them by watching for that flight pattern. He did say that right now in our area, there's an explosion of Yellowjacket nests because of all that rain we had for about 6-7 weeks. Well, we're not having the rain now. That's past. I haven't had rain in a long time, like 8-9 days. But before that, we had weeks and weeks and weeks of heavy rain. And so they were dormant. He said in the last week, they've just come out. They're everywhere, and they're vicious. They're aggressive, and they will hunt you down. So long story short for me, no gardening this week, no harvesting, wearing multiple layers, multiple trips for the exterminator to come out. Oh, and he also found a back entrance to the first nest. And he pumped 2 gallons of that medicine into the hole on Monday. Well, the reason he kept pumping and pumping is there was a back hole. He found it today. He was able to fill it again from the backside. So hopefully, we took care of the problem. But I am just so fearful. There's a third hole, a fourth, a fifth. My second attack, I don't know if that was one of the Yellowjackets from the original nest that came out the back door, and he just knew that I was part of his annihilation of his colony. I don't know. There's a lot of questions. I've done a lot of research this week. It is fascinating. It is scary. I've never been fearful of being attacked like this before, but now I'm watching my steps. That's why this video is a little wonky. I'm watching for holes in the ground. I'm watching for darting flight patterns in and out of a specific area. And it's usually early in the day, right when it starts to heat up is when you're going to see them. So I'm going to start going out there with binoculars and watching. So I love to go hiking, I love to walk, I love nature. But now there's a third thing I'm going to have to add to my list. When I'm walking, you know, I'm looking down. Snakes, roots to trip over. I've done that many a times. And now I'm looking for yellow jacket holes. So here in the south, I'm in central Virginia, what you see a lot is subterranean yellow jackets. And the eastern variety, the southern variety, I think I had both, but one must be more vicious than the other. Because our second nest, the one that was just found last night, I went in and out of my car the last 2 days. I was literally right beside their hole, and they didn't attack me. So I'm hoping that was the gentler version. I'm hoping they weren't as aggressive. The first variety was super aggressive, and I don't know which is which. So no true gardening content for this week because I have not been working in the garden. I have been purposefully avoiding being in the garden. I hopefully will get back out there next week. Maybe I'll work in the rain. Nighttime doesn't seem to really be a factor, so that's no help. But hopefully after the second visit, things will be okay. He did also do a check around the front yard and the backyard. He was there at the right time of day. He didn't see anything else suspicious, but things can change quickly. So I'm glad you stopped in for a few minutes. I'm not sure how long this video will be, but hope you're having a great gardening week. Do you have experience with yellow jackets? Have you been attacked? Are you allergic? So many people are allergic. In fact, the guy who treated our house Monday and today, he's anaphylactic. He has to carry an EpiPen for yellow jackets. And I'm like, wow, why not find a new job? I think he likes it though, but it's so scary. I was afraid for him. Yes. So very interesting that he would have that line of work if he's anaphylactic and carries an EpiPen. Oh, something almost got me. All right, guys, I gotta go. I gotta focus. Gotta pay attention. Talk to you next week. Hopefully I will be in the garden.